We did not waste time going back and forth. We met and then met again and again and again. And I think about 3 days later, you had moved in with me. Go ahead, honey. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Selena Amber.
And I am Griff.
And this is the
I See Your Point podcast.
We practiced our setup last week in a nice little studio room.
Yeah.
It's currently taken, so...
Currently occupied. I'm looking at that individual now.
I've had to work over the years on pivoting and getting better when I'm not getting what I want.
Just adjusting, adapting. It's fine. It's not ours. We have to share.
I didn't reserve it, It's just like, it's 10:45 at night. I didn't think anyone was going to be using it right now. It was exactly the exact same time.
And that's probably what that person thought.
Yeah.
So,
but this is nice. You always said you like these pink chairs.
I really do like these pink chairs. They're a nice, soft, suede pink, and the wall behind goes well. I really love interior design. I just am drawn to just putting things together with textures and colors and stuff. So I have always said that I really like these pink chairs.
I love that you like that stuff because I don't really care for putting in the effort.
Yeah, she doesn't really care to put in. Well, okay. She doesn't care to put in the effort on those things, but she does care to enjoy them.
To appreciate it, I do.
But she puts in the effort on other things, which surprised me. So maybe me being drawn to interior design surprised you initially. But dude, if you had seen the number of cockroaches that this woman has slayed, she's a beast.
Exposing, yeah,
She just jumped on that stuff. She's very go-gettery. Selena is. But yeah, I think I'm maybe more inclined to be the creative one, so interior design just comes naturally to me.
Yeah, talk about going to IKEA, and that's like one of the worst things that I could think of doing with my time.
It's a bit hectic there. There's like a lot going on.
But you still like enjoy it, like going to the rooms and everything, and right? I mean, I feel like...
You know what? I would enjoy IKEA a lot more if it could just be me.
Oh, not saying not me, saying everybody else not there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if it could just be us.
Yeah.
Then I would like IKEA a lot more. It's only because it's so busy and so hectic that I don't really like being around that energy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just walking around a building that has a bunch of stuff that I could piece together my vision. Yeah, I do like that. So I was thinking we should tell them how we met.
Yeah, I think intros are important to start off.
Yeah, because it's like, who the heck are we? Yeah,
why would you listen? Care about us?
Why would you listen to us or our opinion?
But what we are qualified on is our own lives. We are qualified to speak about our lives. So that's what we're going to do to start off.
I mean, I guess technically everyone is valid,
of course,
to share their opinion.
Sure. But
we met on Bumble.
Mm-hmm. When?
Wow, in a month. In a little bit less than a month, 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And so our anniversary is August. Well, it's like anniversary. It's like of what?
We
right?
Celebrate the anniversary of when we met.
Yeah, so we met August 19th/20th, only because it was midnight. Mm-hmm. So it was like, is it the 19th?
I don't recall checking my phone like right when you came up to my car and if it was past midnight yet.
Yeah.
But the date was scheduled for Friday night, and Friday night was the 19th.
So haha.
Okay, what were you going to say?
Qualified. I was going to say it's been a long ride, hasn't it?
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
So
it's been a whiplash. Have you ever ridden a wooden roller coaster?
That's one of the worst roller coasters I've ever been on.
Ghost Rider. Yeah, in Ohio, the theme park was.
That's what we're gonna compare a relationship to.
Yeah, because
relationship to right now.
Yeah, because there's Cedar Point, and then there was wow, I can't believe I can't remember the name of the one that I would go to.
You can't believe that?
Do you remember the name?
Kings?
Yeah,
I've
dang
never
it.
even been there.
Kings Island. Yeah, thank you.
We were
Kings
gonna
Island.
go when I visited, that's why.
Well, okay, so Kings Island has a wooden roller coaster called the Beast. And it's rough.
And that's what you're comparing our
That's what I'm comparing me to.
Oh, then yes, that's accurate.
You got on to this ride. Yeah, I'm calling myself the Beast.
Yes, that is true. That's very, very accurate. I stand by that statement.
Yeah, I have been one wild ride.
Not that I would necessarily have used this analogy, but I don't know. So like I was starting to say is Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm here in Buena Park, California, was probably the worst roller coaster I've ever been on because it was so uncomfortable.
Is it wooden?
Yes.
Yeah, it just beats the shit out of you.
I remember being on it, thinking, whose idea was it to come on this ride? I mean, I know whose idea it was.
It's actually shocking because wood is
I thought it was going to be more enjoyable. I thought it was going to be safer. I thought like
wood kind of bends. Like it's hard, but like it's got a little give to it a little bit, right? But
so while I was on it, I was thinking, I can't wait to get off this. All that to say, you're comparing me getting on a wooden roller coaster like me getting in a relationship with you.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've also been along, not only am I the ride, but I have also been along for the ride. So it's been, there's been a lot of rough curves and turns and loops and sudden stops, and I feel like the roller coaster analogy works really well. Yeah, I've just been through a lot of stuff. I've changed a lot.
He has.
Always towards the better, I would like to think, but still, just like progress has been
doing better.
Yeah,
doing better, guaranteed with this one.
Yeah. Thanks for dropping the subtle little name drop of my clothing company.
That's his baby.
You're my baby.
Oh, thank you.
My truck is my baby.
Yeah.
DBG is also another baby I've birthed.
Yeah.
I've birthed the baby.
You're broken. Okay. Going back to meeting on Bumble. He's the first person I met on Bumble. We messaged like one day. Mm-hmm. I'd say it was Thursday, and I think we met Friday. Like we didn't really waste time going back and forth. But I will say
we rushed right into this. We did not waste time going back and forth. We met and then met again and again and again. And I think about 3 days later, you had moved in with me. That's what it felt like.
I remember being at your home and like you're going to work and
apartment, home.
Home.
Very nice.
Home is home. I didn't say house.
Oh, okay.
Home is home.
Sure, home. All right.
House, I didn't say the infrastructure. Yeah. So being in your little apartment then, and which is now our apartment. So
and has been for 9 years.
But there's nothing in your fridge except,
of course not.
Except kazoozles. Is that what they're called? The sweet tart ropes. I think that's what they're called.
That's what was in my fridge.
Well, from all of our 7-Eleven nights and stuff.
I didn't
and then a cinnamon
make
roll.
It through a pack of kazoozles. I had to fridge them.
A cinnamon roll from 7-Eleven and a Brita at the time.
And I had the Brita. I had the filtered water though,
which isn't even the best filtered water.
I didn't even have a TV. It was like I couldn't even really invite anyone over. Small apartment, studio apartment. My bed. I had a huge bed though. I did have a sick huge bed, and
Kelly King.
Yeah, and there was nowhere for you to even really sit. So it was kind of awkward or whatever. It's like, hey, can we go to your place? And it's like, sure, you can come sit on my bed.
Well, in your defense, you had just moved in, like literally.
Yeah, I did.
Like
and so
within the month.
One of the things that I thought was so fucking cool about her right away was that you bought me a TV like the third time we hung out.
I did. Because then
she fully bought me like a flat screen TV. Like it wasn't huge, but it was like a good size. It was like a 27-inch or maybe a 32.
I don't even know. Yeah. I just know that you were like, kind of saying didn't want to really have me come over because we couldn't even do anything.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that guy because it's like I knew what the stage was. Come over, like you could sit on my bed. Like I was not trying to be that guy necessarily. But I get it. Like we want to hang out and not have to like be at a restaurant or a bar.
Which we did go to Casa Vega like almost every night.
Yeah, and it just the only other place that we could have hung out was like her parents' house, and it was like, it's a little too early
Well,
for me to
you
be like
didn't meet
meeting
my
your
parents until October.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like September, October, like 2 months later.
Yeah. So that was sick. She hooked me up with a TV right away, and I was like, "Oh, this is."
I think we
dope.
still have that TV in our storage unit. Like we don't use it in
I
our
think so.
apartment now, but we didn't get rid of it.
There's actually low key like so much stuff to go over and cover, but it's like, what do you want to know in the beginning? What do you want to tell us in the comments?
Well,
What
I
do you
think
wanna
it's
know in the
important.
beginning?
Like you just explained about a little bit of how we met, but it's like, okay, but who are you, Griff, and who are you, Selena? Like individually, you know? Like he mentioned a little bit he grew up in Ohio.
Oh,
but
okay.
He didn't just grow up in Ohio.
Oh, so a nutshell on my background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of my least favorite questions is when people are like, "So where are you from?" And it's like, I just freaking hate being asked that. Because in my experience, and I get it, the intention is to connect. Like I do understand, but people want to like figure out where you from, and where you say you're from, they're going to think of all the things that they can about that place and then try and connect you to those things. And I just can't stand that. Probably because I moved around so much. So it's not really fair, I feel like, to ask me where I'm from. Also, when people say where are you from, what they really mean and want to hear and assume is where were you born? It's like that's the follow-up question when I try and like a little bit juke them on that question. Like, no, but where were you born? And it's like, dude, I just can't stand it. Anyways, I was born in Utah. I lived there for a small period of my life, maybe up until I was like 3 or 4 or 5 years old or so. I really don't remember it. And then I moved around a bunch randomly during that time after like 5. And I ended up with my dad. So my parents were split. I ended up with my dad when I was like 9 years old in Ohio. So most of the time when people ask me where I'm from, I'll say I grew up in Ohio. A little bit of a dodge there. and I did. So from like age 9 to like age 15, I was in Ohio with my dad. And dude, there's just so much to unpack until my mom moved there, and then I moved back with her. We'll get into that on another episode. My unpacking the roller coaster
that'll
that
like
is Beast.
Unravel itself and conversation as we.
And so, anyways, lived in Ohio. That's like my bike riding days. I grew up wrestling. Like those are like the good old classic days. The memories I have like of growing up as a kid is Ohio. And then after that, moved to Northern California because I was really into wrestling at Ohio. My mom, who she was married to, work was hard to find in Ohio. And so her husband, Jim, could be a CHP officer back in California. And so at 15, my mom and her husband, Jim, sat me and my stepbrother down and were like, yo, do you want to move to California? And when you ask any kid in Ohio if they want to move from Ohio to California, without hesitation, they are going to say, fuck yeah. So we moved from Ohio to Northern California. I went to high school up there.
But you did live in also like California a little bit prior to that before, like in Palm Springs with your aunt and
I know,
stuff.
that's the fuzzy part. That's like, how did I end up in Palm Springs for second grade?
Yeah.
Like from Utah. I don't know. I don't recall all that stuff.
So it came back to California, but a little bit older.
Yeah, and
northern.
Also, northern is totally different than southern.
Yeah,
California.
It's like 2 different states.
And I went to high school in a place called Grass Valley or Nevada Union. Those are like neighboring teeny towns up there, and that was cool. High school days. And then after high school, I got into the only acting school that was available up in Northern California, which was JRP. And whatever, it got my foot in the door. That has like a weird reputation sometimes, JRP does, but whatever. I was young and it got my foot in the door for acting. And around like 17 or 18 years old, like a lot of people, especially my mom, was just always saying like, wow, you remind me of Marky Mark. You remind me of, everyone was just saying these different, like really famous, like lead guys. And, you know, growing up the way that I did, moving around a lot and like whatever, not victim state about it, but like we were poor a lot of times and like shit kind of sucked for like a decent amount of growing up. So I felt like, wow, acting, I can freaking do that. Rescue everyone. I'll be the hero. And after high school, graduated, and then um, moved to Palm Springs with my mom and her husband Jim for 1 year. And that was because they were so bored in Northern California that they wanted to move to Palm Springs. And now that I had graduated high school, there was nothing really holding them down there. And I was like, I'm going with you. Like, I want to ultimately go to LA, but I don't want to stay up here either. So we moved to Palm Springs, and I lasted 1 year in Palm Springs. And I was like, this freaking sucks. I hate it here. And I met a friend at JRP in acting school, and I randomly reached out to him. And his name's Nick Renaud. And I reached out to him, and I was like, yo, you still doing the acting thing?
Which he still is to this day.
Yeah, he still is ripping today. And he needed a roommate like right then. So like divine timing, he needed a roommate like within a month of me hitting him up. And I was like, dude, I'm down. And so I moved in with Nick in North Hollywood. And after I moved, about a year later, my mom and Jim were bored in Palm Springs, and they moved right back up to Grass Valley. So, anyways, that's just funny to me that they were bored up there, moved down here, bored down here, moved back up there. And then yeah, so I've been in Los Angeles ever since 2010, and I was pursuing acting for a while down here for like 4+ years, whatever.
Actually, funny story. Do you know what I'm gonna say?
Yeah, I think I know what you're gonna say.
Well, yeah. Okay, so pursuing acting, that's actually the very first time that I saw him was on TV. I forgot the date right now.
It's kind of dope, actually, sort of story. I booked a guest star role. I always mix those up. Co-star, guest star. I had like 5 lines in an episode of Teen Wolf.
I believe it was season 3, episode 1. The episode was called Tattoo. Your character's name was Brandon, and it was toward the beginning of the episode. Lydia, it's like the opening scene, and then he's shirtless in the bed. And that's how I first saw him. I remember thinking he was so hot. I just remember being in the backyard watching you there, and then like I still have that image of that first episode. Like I can't tell you any of the other episodes of Teen Wolf that I've watched or anything like that with any of the other characters. But it was like a big season because the twins were also Ethan and Dylan, I think were their names.
I think that they stepped on my entrance a little bit, to be honest, because I was told, I'm not making this up. This is true. The producer of the show was so excited to meet me. He walked me around the whole set, introduced me to everybody, and like was kind of hyping up that my character was going to be like introduced as a recurring character. And I was so excited, dude. That was like, that would have just been completely life-changing for me if that happened.
I would have never met you probably.
But that same episode, like she said, like the twins or whatever were also introduced. And I think that they actually...
Well, they ended up being in like all the episodes after that, and you didn't.
Right. Yeah, I got fucking X'd.
But that was how I saw you. First saw you.
Yeah.
That would have been 2000.
That was like 2013.
Really?
2012 or 2013.
Okay, it was around there. And then I didn't end up meeting you till 2016, so years later.
Yeah.
So you go back to your story, acting. Are you grabbing a hair from your baby?
There was one tickling me. It's freaking, I feel like I was getting spider webbed. Right. I mean, what else? Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know.
I don't want to unpack too much because the shit gets...
Because you've been...
Guys, I wasn't exaggerating. Like, my story is a rough story. So
we're writing a book.
Yeah, sure, a book. I don't want the first episode to be like, holy crap, giant rough ride. Anyways, I stopped acting in
For
2014. I'm
now.
just gonna step, yeah, for now. Sure, sure. You know what's funny? For now, she says that, and then a couple other people have mentioned it before. That's like, you know, when you're working really hard for something and you care about it so much, and like that's what you want, you're going for it. And I know that sometimes for people it works out, but it feels like most of the time when you want it so bad, like you can't seem to get it. But the moment you like literally don't freaking care at all, like is when you turn around with like the basketball. You just don't even care anymore. You turn around, you're like, screw this. You chuck it behind you and like swish because you don't care anymore. Like that's kind of how I feel about acting lately because sometimes people are like, you should try it again. And I'm like, I don't care at all anymore about it. And I bet you, like, wouldn't that be funny that that's when I finally do really well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the types of roles you would be cast for would be a lot more up your alley because of your tattoos limit you now, like rightfully so, like how you would like it. Because before
Yes.
you were like, don't give me anywhere Disney. You were on Lab Rats.
Yeah, I was getting so much like Nickelodeon, which whatever, you know, take what you can get when you're starting out. But
They put you in a sweater vest. In a like magenta-y purple sweater vest.
yeah, so I did an episode of Lab Rats also, which was like a popular Disney show.
Disney XD, I believe.
Yeah, Disney XD. And yeah, dude, that was just like how everyone saw me was like that guy. And I felt more like Sons of Anarchy. Like that's more my vibe. I was listening to like death metal. I still love death metal so much. And like I just have a more extreme like type of a personality and way that I view myself. But this was like way before I had like a tattoo on my throat or any like tattoos on my hands and stuff like that. So this was prior to that. So it was like, oh, I just had
Yeah, I
this.
think on Teen Wolf you only had this one.
Yeah, I
I
only had
remember.
that one. And
You were in a long sleeve sweater vest and Lab Rats, so you couldn't even tell.
yeah, and they covered that
And
right up.
you still get residuals.
Sure. Yeah,
So
I get like $3 residual checks from time to time.
anyway, so you know, he did that, and I guess that's all he'll share for now.
Yeah, let's just save it right there for now because we could do episode 2 or 3 or whatever on like my background or story or whatever.
Yeah.
Tell them some of your background.
Sorry.
Hers is a little bit more
Tame.
tame
There's like
and simple, a little bit less to unpack, but that's like a good thing, I feel like.
yeah. So he moved around a lot. I literally grew up in the exact same house that my parents still live in to this day.
Parents are still together.
Yeah, I love Winnie the Pooh.
I love that that's the third thing that freaking came out. Yeah, she does love Winnie the Pooh.
We didn't mention him yet, but we have a Doberman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
He's Artex.
Yeah. Wasn't sure when to unleash that information, but yeah.
You named him Artex from the Neverending Story, which was one of his favorite movies growing up, and that's what the tattoos on his neck are a derivative of the.
That's correct. The Southern Oracle in the movie The Neverending Story. That's my throat piece is a derivative of that.
So Artex, we met in August of 2016, and Artex was born in March 2017, and we got him in April 2017. And that was kind of officially when I ended up moving in with you, like officially, kind of never went back to my parents' house. But obviously months before that, like I had stuff in your house, in your apartment, and like was sleeping over a lot. But
she had a whole agenda and plan, and I was just oblivious to it. I just thought, who knows what I thought. I was just distracted and just being young and wild, and she was just sinking her teeth and claws deeper and deeper every time. But I was cool with it because I had to realize at a point that everything was just better when you were around. Like my life was better. My life was easier. Not that I was like using you, but I just noticed like, oh shit, she's really cool. Like she like contributes. Like she's thoughtful. She's caring. Fucking like we said, bought me a TV on like the third or fourth date. Like that was cool. Um, yeah, I just did enjoy when you were around. Everything seemed better. So I
Well, thank
liked
you.
that. And I needed that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was 2016, so that was like 2 years. That was right from 2014. So,
Yeah.
and so back to my story, I guess. I keep bouncing back to you because there's
Yeah,
really
you
not.
unpacked our text, then we got
Well, I brought up Artex because Artex is like a huge part of my life. I've never had a dog before, and
yeah,
he's
her first
literally
dog is a Doberman.
he's like my baby. He's
Yeah.
very needy. Some dogs are dogs. Some dogs are like human children, and like obviously I know some people are gonna like
True.
fight me on that, but
No, the Doberman people will know. The
yeah.
Doberman people will freaking know.
And I will say this: there are some Dobermans that are very dog-like that are just like they
That's
bark
true.
and yeah.
That's also true. It's not just Dobermans. Like there's just something about some dogs.
Like their soul is a human trapped in a dog body.
Freaking yeah. You know what I mean? Like some dogs are just like not too much going on up here. They bark at stuff. They're dogs. Like not too much to look into. And then other dogs are like, when you look at them, you're like, oh shit. Like, I think your next life, you're probably a human kid because the connection is just so different. And Artex does have one of those little souls that are like, dude, you are like, I grew up with dogs. He is not what I grew up with. He is next level advanced dog.
Yeah. So
And so that was her first dog. It's like,
and we got him when you were working nights at Delilah.
yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Delilah is like a really popular restaurant in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was at USC. I graduated from USC in 2019. I started right when I met you, like literally in August in 2016. I think I like started school the first week I met you. So that was interesting, having like a new relationship with like my first semester of college. And then yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so basically I think the point she's trying to make is that Artex kind of like glued us together because I needed help with him as a puppy. When we got him, he was 6 weeks old. So he was like a teeny burrito. He was just like the smallest guy.
and no one told me, I mean, obviously no one told me, but like, you know, he grew up so fast. Like I didn't realize like he was going to be that tiny. And then like, I can't even pick him up now. He's like 95 pounds.
Yeah, there were some nights I would come home from work, no joke. If you've ever had a puppy that is like supposed to be a big dog, but you got it as a little baby puppy, sometimes you come home after a few hours and you're like, dude, did you grow? Like you legit grew.
Which is crazy because like I was the one with him when he was like being super crazy, like puppy energetic. Yeah. And I had never dealt with that before. And you would come home like at 3-4 in the morning from working there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And anyway, Artex, I graduated, and you know, here we are doing our podcast, and that's a little bit of me in a nutshell. There's obviously way more, but
so Selena is super tight with her family. She left some stuff out. So right, grew up in the same household. Parents are still married. Never has moved even one time except in with me.
And even then, it was
I
so
love
gradual.
her family. I love her parents. I love her siblings. I love her whole family is great. Her family is, for the most part, like the picture of like I in my mind, like the American dream family. Like everyone loves each other. Everyone gets along. Like her family is tight, close, grew up close, always having like if you see her home videos, like everyone is there, and
I love watching.
It's like classic
home videos.
It's great. I think it's what my mom envisioned for us growing up, but just never could piece that together. And so I love her family for that reason. She's very close with her family, and I'm now close with her family. And I think that that's really cool. You went to the same high school that like your
My
sister
sister.
did and
Yeah.
stuff. All of her siblings, thanks to her father, got to graduate from USC.
But yeah, so I went to the same high school. I went to an all girls excuse me. I went to all girls Catholic high school.
Went to an all. Sometimes I forget that she went to an all girls Catholic high school. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Again, there were still boys' schools that like you would go to like the football games and the dances and stuff like that. So, but yes, we did not really see the opposite sex at all throughout the day. At all. And we had uniforms.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's like, well, it works for some people.
The funniest thing, did not want to go. I fought it so hard. I didn't have a choice to go.
But then looking back, it's like
I'm so
you
glad.
loved it.
Yeah, but I was fighting it so hard. Like my parents spent so much money to put me through the school, like, and I just didn't want to go. And now I'm like, oh, I can't imagine going anywhere else. I didn't want to go to public school, and it was, yeah, I'm so grateful.
She makes public school feel
Sorry,
so like,
no, I just at the
public
time
school?
was like, no, why can't I go to public school? And then now I'm like, oh God, I'm so grateful. Like,
yeah, that's
and
like
it
one
was
of those
like
things.
right down the street from my parents' house. So so close. Like literally got so lucky.
And then you always would go to your grandma's.
Yeah, after
right
elementary
afterwards.
school, so right down the street. So I've had a very great life.
Yeah, you really have. So you can't really throw any shade at that. I feel like we all get dealt different cards in this life, and Selena got dealt, well, different challenges come with different sets of cards. So, Selena got dealt like a really great
Upbringing.
and household and stuff like that for the most part. But it's interesting because it feels like I maybe had per se the opposite, but it gave me like a lot of ambition and drive and like desire to like figure out what I want to do like with myself. And I feel like sometimes because of how you were brought up and just everything was decent. Like I've been in therapy for the last like 3 years. Like there was just so much stuff to work on with me. And it just didn't really feel like that with Selena. And so it feels like sometimes in light of this podcast that we're starting, it's like, shoot, what do you want to do? And it's like, I think challenging for her sometimes to try and like put her finger on that, where it's like when you grow up a little bit more rough or with like not having things, like you start to somehow that helps you like get your footing on like what you do want to do.
I also grew up very
that makes sense.
stubborn. Very stubborn. I was very stubborn.
Oh, she's still stubborn.
And I didn't play any sports growing up. No extracurricular activities because, well, that's not true. I did like yearbook and stuff, and like student government, but I didn't do sport.
She is counting yearbook and student government as an extracurricular activity.
Extracurricular activities.
But I think you were trying to refer to like you didn't play soccer or like get into basketball,
that's what I was
like
gonna
sports,
say.
like
yes,
stuff like that.
Because I wanted to go straight home to my grandma's house and eat her food. I didn't want to sweat. I didn't want to have a coach yell at me or tell me what to do. I didn't want to be in the sun and get a tan.
Oh yeah, she definitely has an authority problem.
So
Aries
sun. And I didn't
Virgo
sun.
Aries moon.
Virgo rising.
Ah. Lots of horns locking right here.
So I didn't do extracurricular activities. I didn't have a hobby. I didn't play sports. So I never really like had an outlet or any sort of thing. I mean, like you played wrestling. You wrestled. You played wrestling.
Yeah, I played wrestling. Yeah, that was fun to play. Yeah, that's true.
But
I think
go ahead.
When you grow up playing sports and that physical activity is there, like especially when you get into your teen years or even like your early 20s when you're going through like just life's crap, like the physical activity stuff that you can lean back on, especially at least for me, that was like, oh, now I work out a lot. Like I have the gym. Like I love that. And Selena just like can't stand it.
I go.
Yeah, she does go. She's Selena's very disciplined. She's pretty. She will complain the entire time.
Whoa! Wait!
But
Hold on.
she's
Hold
pretty
on.
disciplined.
I limit and monitor and very self-aware of my complaining. Like. Wait. No, hold on. Okay. I'm aware what I'm doing when I'm doing, and like, let's say if I want to complain 20 times, I only complain 10.
Will you accept the word fussy?
Yes. I'm very fussy.
It's the same thing to me. But
no, it's not.
Whatever.
So, like, I typically won't say I'm tired because I think it was like Jim Rohn that was like never, like Jim Rohn will say like never hear yourself complain and like don't say you're tired. It's like
those are decent things to like.
So I have those in my mind, but like I will say today at the gym, like I've worked all morning and I was tired and I went straight to the gym after not eating and I didn't want to be there, but I went and then I felt really like sick, like I was gonna throw up, but I don't throw up because I haven't thrown up since high school. Yeah, it's a bit of a rough workout for her today. So I don't throw up. It's like physically impossible for me.
I knew that she just needed to rest. I was like, bro, you just need to go home, like rest.
Take a nap. I didn't want to take a nap.
But she refuses. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. And it's
because I wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep being productive.
Which is admirable.
I just wanted to record this podcast.
Like, you just need to rest. Dude.
I did end up resting, but it was not an intentional nap. It was like I fell asleep while laying down. Yeah, which is like, what do you think is going to happen when you lay down? But
you needed it.
I did a little bit. But I was backing up. I didn't play any sports or activities, but I am very competitive, and I would have been really good.
Crazy competitive. Probably would have been really good at sports if she had just like either been forced to go or like not, maybe forced isn't the right word, but if someone had like just given you the drive and push to like not give up on it. Because I think that she was pretty fussy as
no one wanted to deal
kid
with. They didn't want to.
She was very stubborn, as she said earlier.
I did say that.
And so no one like made her stay and get past that beginning phase of stuff because she is very competitive. And I think she probably would have been a freaking badass at some type of a sport.
Badminton, softball, soccer.
Something.
I don't like basketball. I would not have been good at basketball.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of basketball either.
But
I'm honestly not really a fan of sports
you don't
either.
Watch
That's
any
why
sports.
I played wrestling.
You played wrestling. You played cars.
Wrestling is a very individual sport. It's a team sport, but it's pretty much an individual sport.
I mean,
and there was a lot of individual stuff that I had to go through. So it's like, it just worked perfectly for me. And then after I stopped wrestling, I started going to the gym all the time. So like, individual thing there.
But you like to work out with other men around. And I hate to work out with other people around. I don't like. I would rather have like my own private home gym. Yeah, I need the men
around from when I played wrestling. Other men around. Just people. Just
no,
like
that's what I meant.
General,
I meant like
people.
Yeah, but I just meant like it's like enjoyable for you when people are around you, and I'd rather. I mean, I just.
Yeah, if I had my own home gym, like The Rock has, freaking my whole own everything. Like, I don't think I would like that. I like being in the atmosphere of other people, working hard, the camaraderie, the low-key, maybe mental competition. You see someone hit a PR, you want to hit like a PR. Like, I thrive in that kind of an environment. I push myself harder when I'm around other people, and I like that.
I will say today, though, I was on leg press, and I just was pushing myself, but there was two men, like two over. I think it was the hack squat or something similar to the hack squat.
Oh yeah, those guys were crushing it.
And one was like, come on, one more. And I was like finishing my leg press. So it was like, I was piggybacking.
You were like, you talking to me?
I was piggybacking off of their like motivation.
You just
and I was like,
stole some of
yes,
the motivation.
I was totally like, all right, one more. And then I went for another one after that. And I was like, all right, I see it.
I was crushing it today.
We both did legs.
I have been loving training legs lately.
I hate it. I like doing upper body.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I just kind of get obsessed with rotating my muscle groups. And like one thing I used to say all the time was like, chest day is the best day. Like I did used to I still do like training my chest, but I am just locked in on legs right now.
Enjoying seeing your legs grow.
Yeah.
You know, those calves of yours.
Yeah, she was giving me a hard time about my calves like a couple months ago.
Loving, like, you know, as you should push your partner to do their best way.
You were loving and gentle about it. And the loving gentleness that you had was steeped in a truth. And it was like, it was like, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it clear that it was not like I was like ragging on you and giving you shit and like talking down to you.
No, you don't do that. You're very supportive. And anyways, yeah, I've been freaking crushing legs lately. And it feels great, and they have been growing a lot. I've got these babies hidden right now, but you'll see on some of my content.
I didn't know. I don't know if my legs are showing right now. She's still in there. I didn't know that we were going to be so
she's over there freaking editing her podcast.
Well, I'm so glad that I didn't like wait around and say, oh yeah, well maybe she
You would have been here a lot longer.
Yeah, but so we talked about the gym, you know, those are some of our interests. He mentioned that, you know, you've been in therapy, but we've actually also been in therapy together. You had an individual therapist for a while, and then our couple therapists.
Which I was very resistant to.
Yeah.
I was not into therapy. I'm someone who has changed a lot, though. What it came down to was just honestly finding the right freaking person, dude. Finding the right person. But when you're a person who, first of all, needs therapy, you need it because there's shit going on in your life that you need to work out, and you're probably not working it out. And so like addressing that is not fun. And then going through the headache of a process of finding the right person. I probably met with like 3-4 plus therapists, and every time when you don't want to be in therapy, even though there's stuff you need to work on, and your first experience is like, this is crap. And your second experience is like, this is crap. See, this is stupid. Like everything is there to support you on your theory of why you don't want to do it. But I promise you, it just takes finding the right person to connect with. And when you do, that becomes a really great space for self-accountability, self-reflection and awareness, and just a safe place to work through some of your bullshit, because everyone has bullshit, bro. So I am definitely a fan of therapy now. I always said it was a ripoff. They don't really care about you. They're just going to take your money. And you know what? Maybe some people are like that. But that's why I say when you find the right one to connect with, whether or not she's just, and I don't believe that she is, just trying to take my money. I have grown from being in that environment. So worth it. Worth the money.
It's like, to that statement, life is I don't want to say life is a business, but there's businesses in life that, you know, we all help each other, but we need to be compensated for our time. So it's like personal trainers and everything, like, they're taking money for their service, but their service is to help their client, and they're going to come out better on the other end of it. So anyway, at that point,
I have definitely been on, part of my roller coaster ride has been a massive self-development journey, leadership development. I absolutely love leadership so much. And when I say that, I'm not talking about positional leadership. If you guys are familiar with John C. Maxwell, he's an incredible author on leadership. He has a lot of books on it, but he talks about positional leadership being like the bottom of the pyramid. Like, that's not the leadership I'm talking about. I'm talking about the top, where people love you, they want to follow you. And I think that becoming that kind of a person, or at least that kind of a man, but it's available for everybody. I think that that is a great journey to be on. And I've also been on like a really big spiritual journey. That's why I said Virgo Aries earlier. And doing my birth natal chart with our friend Lindsay just opened my eyes up to more about myself. Dude, I don't know where else you would learn about your freaking self. Like, someone could be like, "Oh, life experience." And it's like, "Yeah, but that's not, you're just kind of guessing there. You like there's nothing like concrete to go on." And so I feel like the birth natal chart thing for me was just like, "Wow, this is me." And I don't know, I latched onto it. I loved it.
You've also done some other, because I thought of it right now, other cool experiences that I haven't done yet. But I set it up for you, which was your QHHT, past life
Yeah.
regression, like hypnosis, not self hypnosis, but hypnosis session.
Yeah, quantum healing
Healing
hypnosis therapy, QHHT.
Is that what the T's for? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I did that with a woman named Mayra. She runs a business called Soul Signs. Pretty cool. Hypnosis. Yes, I did say hypnosis therapy. Um, it's a
He,
unique experience, dude. You just have to be open to stuff with your birth chart. Just be open to the info. With therapy, be open. Just an openness is so important. I feel like so many people are just like closed off, closed minded, rigid, stubborn. It's like, bro, you're so limited. It doesn't hurt to just like feel stuff out. And so I was open to the past life regression therapy that Mayra also did. It was cool. It was a cool experience. I also had a couple mediumship
oh, yes.
readings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another really cool,
What,
interesting
and
experience.
those definitely you would say helped you, right?
They were nice. They were nice. I feel like they affirmed my belief in a spiritual world, a spiritual realm. The fact that there's literally mediums who connect to that side is like just so incredible to me. I just found it fascinating. And
I mean, the things are spot on.
the things are freaking spot on. And so you just have to have your own experience with it and go into it open and not like attempting to defeat it. That's the other thing. I feel like people try to like defeat like the thing because they would rather like defeat and be right than just be open and see what kind of an experience that they can genuinely have. And it's for you anyway. So yeah, that was some of the cool stuff that I've done so far. Um, this isn't about me, by the way. We're just unpacking. We're just getting to know each other. I think we're just trying to explain ourselves, and there's definitely like a lot more stuff to unpack with me, but there's things with Selena as well.
Yeah. But that is a little bit in the nutshell our a little bit about ourselves. More will come out in conversation as this podcast goes on.
Just a quick note, I see your point podcast. Like, the intention here is, as a couple, talk about things that are to do with being in a relationship, but
Life in
also
general.
being in, yeah, life in general, because being in a relationship, like, it's not just about our love life and like those things. It's very much about like each individual. And I feel like I see your point. The intention behind it is to make an effort to understand the other person, which is why it's I see your point. And that just comes with all the different areas of life. So that's why we went with that name for the podcast. It's our intention to see each other's points. We're very different, but also very similar, if that makes sense. And I think ideally we would like to have comments from you guys. We would like to have questions from you guys. We would like to hear stories from you guys. Just all of that stuff we're open to exploring so that we can engage. And
I talked about how we are going to set up on the website a section to upload MP4 audio, kind of like if this was a live radio show, but it would be obviously we'd be pre-recording and you would submit like audio of like
Oh yeah, if you
caller
want.
and
Yeah,
question.
that's cool to give them that option.
I kind of like that. It's kind of fun for me to hear the audio, but of course, like some people are gonna maybe be anonymous and like want to like alter their
Yeah,
voice.
because if you write something in, which is totally fine too, it's fine. But if you write something in, it's like me or her reading it, and then we're left. There's just so much detail in someone's voice and the way they say things. So when you do an audio file, it's like that's a little bit.
I've always
more
loved
spice.
like, all right, next caller, and then
Yeah,
obviously be like, okay,
we'll
next audio.
We'll try and work that in.
And I wanted to talk about a quote. You know, I feel like every episode I want to bring in a quote that I heard this week that I really liked, and I want to share with you and
I'm
everyone.
Full of quotes.
I know. He has like quotes and quotes and quotes on his phone. So the quote, I think I did share this with you 2 weeks ago, but you might have forgotten. But the quote that I saw that I enjoyed was said, "Do I actually want it, or do I want other people to see that I have it?" And obviously you can apply that quote to different possessions or things in life or identity, like career, stuff like that. But for me, I definitely go ahead.
My mind goes to like obviously possessions right away, but sometimes when stuff is so obvious, I'm like swipe. Like what else is underneath there? Like get beneath the surface. So I'm like, oh, confidence, is that one? Do I actually want confidence, or do I want people to see that? It's like, oh, I get into that kind of stuff. That's like, oh, that's interesting to qualify those kinds of characteristics, even aside from just like material stuff, like you said.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so
I was just saying, like, for me, like when it comes to material things, as you know, like I don't really want for a lot of like material things, but any material thing that I do think that I want, it's definitely, if I run it through this like measure, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's for me. I'm not the type to be like, oh, look at me, like, you know.
What's the thing?
There's no specific thing right now, but
you're saying
when I
the
can
things
think
that
of a thing
that you can put your finger on that you do want.
Okay.
You want them for yourself.
Winnie the Pooh. I collect Winnie the Pooh. So all of my Winnie the Pooh plushies.
That's very true. She has Winnie the Pooh on this mug right here. You can't see her phone, but it's a phone case.
Yeah, so like anything Winnie the Pooh, I'm not like, oh, I want it so like others can see it that I have it. Like, no, I mean, I genuinely love having all things Winnie the Pooh. That's why I have like a huge collection. So if you have anything Winnie the Pooh that you want to donate to me, feel free.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that you really... So that quote kind of like embodies status, is the way I see it. That's like, oh, do I really want it, or do I want people to see that I have it and that's why I want it? And it's like most of that is linked to like
ego,
validation from other people, approval from other people, ego, and or like status. And I don't really feel like you have the word toxic level is coming to my mind, but it's like that's not even the right word, because that's like taken to an extreme when things are toxic. It's like you don't really have a lot of that vibe going on for you in general. Validation and stuff like that.
Was it too closed off?
What? No, you probably just scooted out of frame, bro.
I don't know. Okay. I think something that for other people that I can think of with this quote is like cars.
Sure.
Like Mufasa is for you.
Yes. For sure.
Mufasa is his truck.
Right. Mufasa is my truck's name. Yeah, that's for me, but it's also fun to have. But it is for me. It's for life.
Your quote.
Yeah, the quote that seemed to be the theme for today and yesterday for me, which comes to mind, if I'm being honest, being in a good mood despite not having things to be in a good mood about. That's the quote that's been running through my mind today and yesterday, as I have been doing my best to be in a good mood. Not to sound like victim mindset-y about stuff, but just I don't know, bro. Some days are hard, some days are rough. I think a lot of my heaviness and things come from just not being where I want to be in life, but feeling like I work very hard to get to those levels. And sometimes it's like what I was saying earlier. It's like, oh, you're going so hard for it, and sometimes it just seems to elude you. And but it can be really hard to surrender. Maybe surrender is the right word to use when you stop reaching so hard for it. It's like trying to catch a butterfly, right? Like you're trying to get it, but it only lands in your hand when you surrender. But when you surrender, it feels like you're not doing enough. It feels like you're not having a forward momentum. And like I'm used to attempting to like take action. So, anyways, just as like a quick explanation about like, oh, what do you mean not things to be in a good mood about? It's like I'm very grateful. There's a lot of great things that I have in my life. Selena being one of them, the ability to do this podcast is one of them, my truck that I love for sure. I think just where I'm at in life right now is like, I just want this word keeps coming up for me. I want purposeful alignment. And I see people having purposeful alignment in their lives. And I want wholeness, authenticity, purposeful alignment in my career path, and authenticity and wholeness as a person. And I see people doing, I see the light went up.
Oh, that's what that was.
It's okay. I see people doing careers that they chose, that they like, that they wanted to get good at, and they are achieving financial abundance by doing it. And they have the ability because of that to do that career for a very long time, and they're very happy doing the career, and the money is flowing into their life from that career. And I also see people online who are just very authentic and very whole. And I really admire that. And how come sometimes I feel like they're assholes? There's something about like the goal isn't to be an asshole, but I notice that a lot of guys that I see, you would kind of quickly maybe think that they're an asshole, but it's not that they're an asshole. It's just that they don't freaking care and they're honest and they say what they feel and they don't care about maybe even the way they say it. That's like, oh, I would prefer to say things as effectively as I can,
When
but
you say as effectively, are you really saying like as well received as you can to get the desired result from the other person?
I just love when things are well said. Like one of my freaking favorite things about ChatGPT, which I love to use for lots of stuff, is I'll say something in like a bit of a messy way, trying to just get the thought process out of my head and onto the freaking keyboard. And when it reads back to me to like reiterate what was said, I'm like, ah, yes, you said that so well. And it's just impactful. When things are said really well, I feel like they carry a power. And I love that, like having that ability. So like that's something in myself that I aspire to like cultivate more of and be really good at. Also, like I was saying earlier, like to me, that's a good leader. To me, a good leader communicates well. So I like those things. Um, anyways, I guess that was a roundabout way of just elaborating on why I'm needing to work so hard to be in a good mood about, despite not having things to be in a good mood about.
I know that, the law of non-resistance kind of just keeps flashing in my mind as you're talking about working so hard for things. And that's a book that's talked about, obviously, in many things, but in the book that I read is Of the Game of Life and How to Play It by
Oh yeah, Florence Scoville Shin.
I always
Sometimes
say
I
it
say Shin Scoville.
as a joke, but then it's got me fucked up because
And that's because I'm random goof. And sometimes I call her Florence Skin Shovel because I think that's funny. But it makes me say her name wrong.
he always he has this ability to quickly reverse the first letter of two words.
Yeah, sometimes I switch the letters of the first letters of the words. I'll like switch them on purpose. I'm just random like that. I don't know. I'm just being a goof.
I'll do it by accident. He'll do it on purpose.
Yeah, I'm just having fun.
So Florence.
Yeah, Florence Scoville Shin.
Yeah.
She's great. She's awesome. We've been reading her book a lot. And
I have the 4 works, the 4 books in one. It's like your word is your wand.
lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff. Dude, if you want me to talk about freaking mentors and leaders and teachers and people that I learned from, there's just so many, incredible amount. For my birthday last year, I went to Jim Rohn's gravesite. That was what I wanted to do. She's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to go and just find his grave.
Which took forever.
It did take a while, dude.
We had dinner reservations.
Massive freaking cemetery. Could you call it that? Mm-hmm. When I say cemetery, it's like I picture like a little square plot of land. This is like acres and acres. Beautiful.
And on that note, we are wrapped up for our first episode of our podcast.
Great. Nice. That was good.
Yeah, you shared your quote.
Yes. So we'll share quotes. Maybe we'll try to think of some good questions to end on as well. Quotes and questions have simultaneously changed my life.
Actually, yeah, I would like to put a question at the end of this video. That way we know who watched it all. I mean, obviously you might be listening to this on any of the streaming platforms, but for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you can leave a comment in the YouTube comment section and think of a question on the spot. Go.
Think of a question on the spot. Dang it. On my phone is actually some really dope ones. Some self-reflect. Oh, okay. Here's one that comes to my mind. If what you're doing right now, you continue doing for the next 5 years, are you going to get where you want to go? Mm-hmm. Shit's deep, bro. Shit's deep, bro. I'm coming with that heavy shit.
I knew you'd have a question on the spot.
Yeah, questions and quotes are great.
All right, well, thank you so much for listening to the
I See Your Point podcast.
And that's a wrap.
And that's a freaking wrap. We should just high five at the end too. Ouch.